Quinn Hughes, the oldest brother of three, almost didn't have his gear for his debut with the Minnesota Wild yesterday, and that was because he left it in his little brother's car. Welcome back to the 25 Days of Sportsmas, the series where I'm telling you stories about sports every day that I think would get you into them for the first time. This is Quinn Hughes, and while he's best known for looking like he's been recently haunted by the ghost of hockey, he is also one of the best defensemen in the league. And currently, he's one of the biggest news topics in hockey because of the big trade that just happened. See, Quinn Hughes has been with the Vancouver Canucks since he was drafted by them in 2018, and he quickly helped make that team better, very quickly becoming their captain. Not only is he one of the best defensemen in the NHL, he's also represented Team USA on a number of international competitions, and you're pretty much guaranteed to see him at the Olympics in 2026. Quinn's current contract actually ends at the end of this season, and as contract negotiations were heating up between him and Vancouver, trade rumors started to swirl. The biggest expected location for him to end up would have been New Jersey, and that's because his two little brothers, Jack and Luke, actually play together on the New Jersey Devils. But when the news actually came up, it was exactly the opposite of that happening. Vancouver was actually in New Jersey because the Canucks were due to play the Devils at their next game, and when Quinn got into New Jersey, he started hanging out with his family. But while he was there, he found out that he had been traded to Minnesota, meaning that he needed to get on a plane to play a totally different hockey game than expected. He does end up making it to Minnesota, but once he gets off the plane, he realizes he left something behind. All of his hockey gear was actually in his little brother Jack's car. Luckily, the GM was able to get his gear from New Jersey to Minnesota before his game, and not only did Quinn end up having his gear, he ended up having an incredibly good game with Minnesota for the very first time on the ice with these guys. The Minnesota Wild not only ended up winning that game 6-2 over Boston, but Quinn, who is a defenseman, actually ended up scoring a goal. If you're new to hockey, you may not know that many teams actually have a Player of the Game award that the teams give their own teammate, and it's usually something specific to the team. The Minnesota Wild use a hat, and they actually gave it to Quinn, who they called Quinny, as he sets into the team pretty comfortably. And one thing that you've probably seen a lot of people talking about is that for the very first time, Quinn seems to be pretty happy on the ice, and in just 24 hours with the team, he's already smiling. Now, if you are new to hockey, one thing to understand about how trades work is that because Quinn was at the end of his contract, the Canucks wanted him to commit to the team long term. But because he wasn't open to doing so, the team wanted to trade him before the contract was up so that they could get what they thought was the best value for Quinn leaving. Had the Canucks kept Quinn in his contract until the end of the season, he would have been a free agent and then open to negotiate with whomever he wanted, and the Canucks really wouldn't have received anything back for Quinn leaving. Instead, Quinn will still be able to renegotiate his contract at the end of this season with the Minnesota Wild, and he'll still be a free agent, meaning that he could negotiate with anyone, including the New Jersey Devils, and potentially reunite with his brothers. However, it seems like he's already pretty happy and open to the possibility of staying with Minnesota long term. So if you're looking for a player, maybe Quinn Hughes is the one that you want to follow. And of course, if you're new to hockey, be sure to check out the Hockey Basics series that I have that answers all of your questions about watching the sport, and be sure to follow along and come back tomorrow for the next day of Sportsmas.